Y'all.
What's happening? What's happening?
What is up,
What's happening,
family?
y'all?
Listen, I feel like it's been a minute since we've been in these Instagram live
I feel like it's been
streets.
something.
It's a lot. A lot has happened
A
since we
minute, an
last came
hour.
on. Oh, your hand is over there in front of the
Sorry.
camera. So we're on a couple different platforms as
Here,
usual.
let me adjust that.
Okay.
Cool.
So real quick, we want to talk about a little bit something different, not necessarily different, but coming from a different perspective. So,
Yeah.
um, what's up, all the platforms? Happy Tuesday to everybody. And before we go into this goodness for you all married
Why
entrepreneurs,
don't we introduce ourselves?
why don't we do that real quick?
What's up? I'm Ola Buckley.
And I'm Sway Buckley.
That's right. We are Marriedpreneur Life Strategists.
Yes, and we help married entrepreneurs to launch, grow, and scale their businesses so they can build their legacy purposefully, powerfully, and profitably in sync.
Yes.
So we are on several different platforms right now just to make it easy to get the word out. And actually, if we can go ahead and let me edit this part right here.
Yes.
I'm going to come back in here. So with that being said, today it's all about tilling versus toiling. Our main thing is really helping faith-based married entrepreneurs to grow and build business legacies in a way that, of course, number one, honors God, honors each other, and then honors others as you're making an exchange inside of the marketplace.
That's right.
With that being said, if you are a marriedpreneur, you may say, well, are we marriedpreneurs? Well, there are three different types.
I'll go into that. So let's do this.
Okay.
All right. So for the first type of marriedpreneur, that is the spousalpreneur. And the spousalpreneur is simply where one of you is leading the business, while the other may be working a 9 to 5 or just supporting on the side. That's the spousalpreneur.
Yes.
If you're a spousalpreneur, you can go ahead and drop an S and say, yeah, that's me.
Drop an S. Spousalpreneurs in the house.
That's right. The second type is what we call the indiepreneurs. And the indiepreneurs is where you two are building separate businesses. So, sir, you're building a business. Ma'am, you're building your own business. You're doing it separately. Those are indiepreneurs.
Yes.
If that's you, you say, yeah, we're an indiepreneur. He's got a business. I got a business. Or I got a business. She's got a business. Drop an I in the comment.
Yes.
Lastly is the couplepreneur. The couplepreneur is where both of you are working in the same business and you're doing it together. Now, if you're a couplepreneur building the same business together, then yeah, go ahead and drop a C in the comments.
Yes. And just so you know, if this is your first time with this too, a little bit about our backgrounds. We are both indie and couplepreneurs. It didn't start that way. We started as spousalpreneurs. We were married for 12 years. September will be 13.
September will be 13.
And since then, really, we've been full-time entrepreneurship for over 10 years. So the majority of our marriage, and it's been a transition, of course. Every time we go through a new opportunity, new doors, or really building the doors and going through them, that opens a new phase, right, on this journey. And so, with that being said, between my company with building creative art staffing firms and consultancies that I built on my dorm room floor starting at the age of 19 to pay my way through college. And then
with my business, working in banking and wealth management, and then starting my own consultancy with commercial real estate, and then co-owning a real estate company, helping facilitate home buying for first-time home buyers in North Texas. So,
and we are not in North Texas anymore. And now your business has
morphed where I'm now actually consulting with commercial real estate and working on 7-8-figure deals. So
yes, and so what we've learned over the years.
Oh, by the way, we're in Jersey.
I was about to say, yes, we're in Jersey. Where are y'all coming in? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah,
we didn't even ask you. That was kind of rude of us. Like, let us know where you're coming in from. I love to connect here, and there as well too. Now, with that being said, every Tuesday we come in here. We usually do it around 12 noon, but today's a little bit different, EST. So we come in with a live legacy lesson that we have learned over the years, and different tools, strategies for indie, spousal, and couplepreneurs. If you're, emerging, or if you're established as a married entrepreneur, we want to bring you the juice. That is our goal every single Tuesday coming in here. So just want to let you know that. And so this week, though, today is going to really be like a two-parter.
It is going to be part one of 2 parts. And this week, we're going to be talking about tealing. Now, together, part 1 and 2, it would be tealing versus toiling, or tealing and toiling. But today, we're just going to focus on the teal.
as
TILL.
married entrepreneurs. And this is important. It's the whole point of this today, what we're going to be sharing with you, is if you are, both of you, one of you, you as a family, are seeking to build momentum, you are seeking to get faster and stronger together, or maybe you've started and then you stop, and then, or maybe you're not going as fast as you would like to go, maybe you feel like there's just some missing pieces, we're just going to help you settle all this right now between the tilling and the toiling. This is one of the biggest areas that we've seen that many marriedpreneurs, especially when they come to us as we work with them as our clients, that we're able to get them breakthroughs as they're walking through this process. So this is what we're going to be sharing with you today. So, South Africa's in the house.
I was going to wait until you stop so I can acknowledge you.
Okay, you can go ahead now.
What's up, South Africa?
South Africa is beautiful. I enjoyed visiting in Durban and, of course, Joburg as well. So, yeah, let us know where you're coming from. Okay, with that being said, now, today, though, we're talking about tilling versus toiling.
That's right. So, tilling. Let's spell this out. Tilling, right? So, tilling is TILL. Mm-hmm. Here's what tilling is. It is first tending. And that's tending to what's yours, what's been entrusted.
Oh, you want some of the three things though first. I think you should.
Oh, yes, sure. So there's three things that we till
as married
entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. Number one is we till our marriage. And yes. I'm going to define what till is in a second. Mm-hmm. But yes, we want to till our marriage. So you're probably thinking, we want to till our marriage. I'll explain what till is in a second. We want to till our marriage first. Secondly, we want to till our business. And that's really the team. We want to till our business. And then lastly, we want to till our market. Those are the people whom we serve. Mm-hmm. So we want to till our marriage, till our business, and till our market.
Absolutely. Now that we lay down this foundation, we want to take you deeper with tilling this week, and then next week, the toiling. I think we can go over just an overview of the two. So it's a two-part to this whole building momentum, regardless if you're in any industry, service-based or product-based or a combination of the two. It doesn't even matter. This is a concept and a tool that will absolutely serve you and your spouse and your business, your family well. Okay, so you want to go over
so the overview of tilling is simply this. It means to prepare. Mm-hmm. It's prepared by cultivation. So we're cultivating when we're tilling.
Like a farmer.
On the toil side, that just literally means to work, to labor, to apply, right? Mm-hmm. So we prepare when we till, we work when we toil.
There we go. So now with the acronyms.
Yeah. So the
acronym.
Right. So the T in till means, as I mentioned earlier, is to tend. Mm-hmm. And so we're tending what? What are we tending? We're tending what's ours, what we've been entrusted with. So that's the tending aspect. That's the T. T is for tending. Then the I, that's intentional. That's being intentional in cultivating what it is that we've been given. Yeah. The L is leading. We're leading. We're literally leading with purpose. Yeah. We're purposeful in our leading, in our leadership. And the last L, that is living. How? With focus. So we're living where we have focus, which means we're not living distracted. We're living focused.
Lord.
So when we're tilling, we're tending, we're intentional, we're leading, we're living.
Yes. And as marriedpreneurs, y'all know good and well, we're building a legacy. And we're building not just a business legacy, we're building ultimately, first and foremost, a legacy of faith. And with that, those of us who are called to the marketplace as married entrepreneurs, that's what we're called, regardless who our market is, the group of people who we're called to build a type of business legacy as well. And all of that comes through this combination, right? Comes through making sure that you have the right systems in place, making sure that you have the right strategies in place. And so this difference between tilling and toiling, we're going to give you what we promised you is one is basically the cultivation, the planning of the soil as a farmer.
Yeah. So let me say this. So
which is necessary.
Right out the gate. Listen, tilling is a God concept. God himself tends, tills, cultivates, right? And then he instructs mankind to till, to cultivate that which is there. Let me make this very, very clear. When we till, That ain't a result of the fall. When we till, that's something that Adam and Eve got before the fall, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is a God thing, and this is what we're doing. And here's what's interesting about this tilling, about this cultivating, about this preparation, is that it often is opposite in many respects to what we would hear outside of the kingdom, outside in the world. So when we're tilling, we're really doing what God has called us to do, right? We're preparing, we're cultivating our marriage, we're cultivating our business, and we're cultivating our market. So when we talk about tending to what is ours, that denotes awareness. So I got to recognize that, hey, even though we have a business, we're married first, right? And yes, we have a business, right? And so we want to be about our business. We want to be responsible in our business. We want to be ethical in our business. We want to do what is right by our team in our business, those who are supporting us, those who are working with us, starting with A1, and then anybody else that you have working with you as a team member. You want to tend to them, cultivate them, give them what they need in order to be productive inside of the business that you've hired them. And then the market, we're not just focused on us or just focused on our team. We're even tending to those who we serve, right? We want to make sure that we're bringing the highest level of value there. So when we talk about this tending, it's being responsible through preparing each and every one of these categories, and that requires that intentionality.
Yeah, so that's just the beginning. The tilling is just the beginning, because it's the planning. But that's where many get stuck, and they don't go over to the toiling, which is the actual putting the work and the executing of what the plan has been, or all the talk has been. There was a scripture that I read this morning in my devotion, Proverbs 14 and 23. It says, "In all labor there is profit, but idle chatter, talk, leads only to poverty." So in all labor there is profit, but idle chatter only leads to poverty. And so many times we'll start off by talking a good talk. We'll start off by saying what we're going to do and how we're going to do this and all the things that we're planning on doing. And then we stop there. So the tilling part is just the preparation. That's preparing the ground. You said something earlier before we went live, as an example. I think that was really powerful to share.
So when you look even biblically about tilling, it is ground preparation. What does that mean? That means you have to prepare the ground to receive what you're going to plant. Yeah. And so when you think about Cain and Abel, the Bible says that Cain was a tiller of the ground. When you think about Adam and Eve, he was to till the ground. When you think about anybody in scripture where it uses this agrarian sort of farmer-like language, it's saying that if you're going to be tending to what's been entrusted to you, part of that is you got to till the ground, which means you got to take out some key things. You got to take out thorns, because those threaten seeds. You got to take out briars and bristles, because they hinder and prevent the seed from actually taking root. I remember when I was a kid and my grandmother would have me out in the lawn, have me out in the yard. And I'll never forget, every single spring, we would get these big old
South side of Chicago
rubber gloves, and I would go and help her plant her garden in the backyard. And she would start me off with a bucket as a little boy, and I had to pull all the pebbles and rocks out of the dirt, because if she was going to plant whatever it was, tulips or gladiolas or whatever plant she was going to plant, before she put the seed around, she had to make sure that all of the stuff that would get in the way of the soil and the seed connecting, we had to take it out and put it in the bucket and remove it. So you got to remove that stuff. That's much of what tending is, especially as married entrepreneurs. There are all kinds of things that would prevent and would hinder us, that would threaten to try to choke out the thing that you're trying to grow and build. You got to have time to remove that stuff and get that stuff out of the way and prepare the ground.
You make the time. Okay, you make the time. I'm gonna say that again. You make the time.
Yeah, because time, it doesn't happen automatically.
No. The growth, right? We have created a system called Marriedpreneur Operating Systems. And within that, we actually walk couples through the process of creating their own, or implementing actually their own systems when it comes to the overarching of their understanding their marriedpreneur vision, and then incorporating their annual legacy meeting together. Like, what does that look like for marriage and for business? And then breaking that down quarterly, monthly, weekly, and then even daily, having these daily check-ins, because everything is about being intentional. When you're called to do something, you're called to do it. So you don't play around with it. It's not a hobby, and it's not just something that you get to when you get time, because that's not going to happen. So really making it a priority is key. Making what you all are called to do, whether you're working in on a 9 to 5 now, or whether you're doing it on a full-time basis, but truly treating it as a gift that it is, the calling to help others through your business that it is. And if you all are needing systems, if you're like, okay, well, that's exactly what we need to organize in order to create more profitability, in order to impact more of the market that you're called to, in order to even get more clarity, do let us know. We have created a free systems checklist. If that's something that you need, just drop systems, the word systems, please, in the comments, and then we'll get that over to you. It's totally free. It's just a gift, our gift from us to you, and we'll get that over there to you, or you can send it to the DMs as well too. Either way, just drop systems and we'll make sure that we get that to you. We want to make sure that you have what you need to continue to till, but then start to toil. So next week we'll be going over part 2, over what comes next once you've cultivated the ground and what that looks like. The systems download that we have, it's really about tilling. And so if you're needing that clarity, then just drop systems, and then you'll begin to see, okay, this is how we're going to start implementing our systems, whether it's dealing with profitability, business systems, if it's productivity, time management, getting things done type of systems, having the clarity that you need type of systems, and then working to get together as marriedpreneurs, that requires legacy systems. Okay, so everything that you're doing should be systematized. Everything that you're doing, it needs to be prioritized. And so that you're not easily distracted, easily taken off your flow of what you're called to do, because at the end of the day, you're responsible for your own calling, right? You're responsible to do what you're called to do. So we want to encourage you all in that. So do let us know if you'd like that. We'll send that over to you. Just drop systems in the comments. And until next time,
keep living
purposefully,
powerfully,
and profitably
in sync.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Peace out.